Lloyd Austin also made some revealing comments, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, about the ICC warrant. And I mean, this is sort of a directive coming down from the Pentagon.
Let's go to avoiders.
General Brown, could you explain, you've been quoted talking about the inevitability of advisors, U.S. advisors in Ukraine, working with Ukrainian forces. Can you explain a little bit about why that is necessary and what it would take to make that happen? And Secretary Austin, on the ICC, President Biden has called it, the arrest warrants, outrageous. This department had said it would work with the ICC to provide evidence about Ukraine. Is that work continuing? How does this decision affect those Pentagon efforts? Thank you.
So let me put that discussion into context. If you go back before February of 2022, we had our U.S. military members in there while working and training with the Ukrainians, and that's not the case right now. And when I said that we would be able to do that eventually, once this conflict is over and we're in a better place, then I would suspect we would be able to bring trainers back in. Right now, there are no plans to bring U.S. trainers into Ukraine.
So on the question of the ICC, again, as I said earlier, I don't have anything to add on the reports that we've seen here recently. Regarding the question of whether or not we'll continue to provide support to the ICC with respect to crimes that are committed in Ukraine, yes, we continue that work.
Time for just a couple more. Let's go to NP.
Yeah, sorry it took so long to get to that. I should have started it later. But what Austin's saying is we'll work with the ICC, but only on going after Russia. We'll just pick and choose, and we're going to sanction them. So that'll work out really well. I mean, it's just amazing when you watch the compilation of these clips and how you can really see how the U.S. views all multilateral institutions. They're just simply tools that the U.S. aims to use. And if the tool doesn't do exactly what the U.S. wants, then it smashes it and breaks the tool completely. I mean, the OPCW is a perfect example, and all the work you did. When the U.S. failed to game an investigation to manufacture the result it wanted, and a real investigation took place over Duma, then it set out to smash everyone involved and get rid of the investigators, ruin their lives, get new leadership in there. And we're seeing it now with the ICC.
Yeah, I mean, they've done that many times with the OPCW during the Iraq, in the lead up to the Iraq War, when Joseph Bustani, the then head of the OPCW, he was standing in the way of the Iraq War because he was trying to bring Iraq into the Chemical Weapons Convention, which would have subjected Iraq to inspections that would have undermined Bush's case for invading Iraq. John Bolton threatened him, threatened his life, threatened his kids, said, "We know where your kids live." And then when Bustani refused to be intimidated and wouldn't resign, John Bolton threatened enough countries and threatened the OPCW's budget so that Bustani got ousted right after he had been elected to a second term. And then, 2 decades later, Bustani comes back to defend the OPCW whistleblowers, and the U.S. blocked him from testifying at the UN Security Council because they just can't tolerate any kind of actual use of the OPCW for its mandate, which would mean telling the truth and actually doing a proper investigation, which was compromised to further the regime change war in Syria.
Yeah. And remember, Lloyd Austin was actually involved in the Syria debacle. It just reminded me, watching him during that press conference, he was in charge of presiding over the training of the so-called moderate rebels. And he was asked in the Senate, how many have we trained? How many moderates have we trained? And he said 4.
He also had an incident where dozens of intelligence analysts at the DIA complained and said that he was twisting the intelligence to meet the Obama administration's narrative during the dirty war. This was really an unprecedented complaint. Like, dozens of people signed on to this against him specifically, saying that he was not delivering what their intelligence was producing. And then, of course, the Pentagon did an investigation and cleared Austin. What a miracle that they cleared him of wrongdoing after dozens of people complained about him. And we never learned the exact nature of what the complaint was, because it was It was classified, but it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious that the DIA, which we know about from other documents, was warning about the overwhelming dominance of Al-Qaeda inside the insurgency that the U.S. was supporting. And I would bet anything that's what Lloyd Austin was concealing from the public.
That's remarkable. And definitely worthy of promoting him to defense secretary.